Did you know that 1 of every 3 bites of food you eat is courtesy of a pollinating insect such as a bee? With declining bee populations across America, how does the bee and honey business stack up in Tennessee? Well, first up, Cumberland County beekeeper Jeff Dayton delivers some fascinating facts on the sticky business of bees. Then, just to see how easy bees can be, amateur beekeepers Gay and Todd McNab offer a look at their garden apiary and a taste of Dripping Springs honey.
I'm Jeff Dayton from the Cumberland County Beekeepers Association, and we have a meeting monthly. We try to keep up with the statistics and show new beekeepers how to start apiaries and start hives. And there's 13,000 apiaries registered in the state of Tennessee, and there's about 2,000 beekeepers running these hives. It contributes quite a bit to our economy in the state. It's about $120 million a year. The market for fresh, raw honey is great. I mean, if you want to go out here and sell a crop, and if you don't sell it all today, it's still there next week. Honey doesn't spoil. It's one of the best foods that we can ever imagine. It's the perfect food. I can put it out, and the shelf life is indefinite. The guys at the farmer's market selling squash, if he don't sell that squash, he's going to be eating a lot of squash until the next weekend. So I like the bees and the honey part. In the state of Tennessee, we have 3 types of beekeepers, mainly, mostly hobbyists. That's people with less than 20 hives. Most are running 2 to 5 hives. And then you have sideliners, and that's what I consider myself as a sideliner. I have more than a hobby going here. I have a sideline business, and it's growing. And then you actually have true professionals. Growers in the field actually depend on these professional pollinators to come in and enhance their crops. When we talk about pollination, you know, everybody takes it for granted that the flowers are going to bloom and there's going to be more flowers next year. But we can't really take it for granted that you go to the grocery store and you pick out this nice vegetable or these nuts on the shelf that you see always, and we take this for granted. But if you take the bees out of the situation, about every third bite you take is contributed to a pollinating insect. And the bees do about 80% of that pollination, and we have to control or maintain enough colonies to feed the nation and other countries. And we really depend on these bees for pollination. I mean, we take so much for granted that the bees are just going to be there. Well, that's not necessarily true. I talked with the state apiarist, and the state apiarist gave me some numbers on what is going on with the hives in the United States. We lost 39% statistically last year. The state of Tennessee showed a 29% loss. There's various reasons. We have mites to contend with, we have diseases to contend with. You know, the beekeepers that make a living at it, they move their hives. One part of the season they'll be in, they'll start out in the southern part of the country if they're migrating from south to north. So when they do this, they move those hives out of the community. But if you've got a good number of hobbyist beekeepers, say with 2 to 5, 10 hives around, then that bunch of hives don't leave the area. Okay. They stay right there. They contribute a huge amount to how well your garden does and how well your flowers grow.
And we went in these hives about 3 weeks ago, and this top super, this part here, these are called supers, we know is full of honey. So we're going to take that off. Let's see how hot they are today.
They're pretty docile.
They say this smoke makes them think their house is on fire, and they start thinking about other things. Get the first one out is sometimes a little difficult. After that, they come pretty easy.
Cut down the frame. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a full frame of capped honey. Where's my brush? Now there's going to be some real beekeepers that are watching me do this and probably say, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, and they would be 100% correct. But the thing about this is that anybody can do this, and we need more bees. I haven't been doing it, or Gay and I haven't been doing it very long, maybe 2.5 years. Yeah, we're in the bee business. A lot of people are in the honey business. We just like having the bees around, and we get some honey, but we don't get as much as we could because we don't manage our bees to produce the maximum amount of honey, because that's too hard of work for me. My feeling is these bees know what they're doing, and man's been studying them for thousands of years, and a lot of things they haven't figured out yet, but the bees know what they're doing. So I let them do just about whatever they want to do. We give most of our honey away. I could sell all that I get here right off my front porch and at the golf course.
Wait just a minute, let me get a move, little girl. I can't
She
stand it
hates
when
to
they
kill a bee, and you can't go in here without killing a
I
few
can't stand to
bees.
squish them. I have to give them a chance.
Everybody puts rocks on top of them because the wind blows these things off, and you're in trouble. But let's go in and make us some honey. What we use to extract honey are 2 5-gallon buckets. I think I've probably got $40 in this whole thing. If you go to buy an extractor, it's $250, $300, $500, depending on what you do. But it's got this one has a filter in it, a fairly big filter. This one has a spigot, and then you put in a very fine filter on top of that. And then you have a spigot that your honey comes out of. Very simple.
The reason we use this method is because we like the comb, and we like the way that we are able to harvest our honey. A lot of people don't do that because they want to preserve the honeycomb so that the bees don't have to work so hard to reform the honeycomb. When people use an extractor, they take a hot knife and they slice the tops of the caps off to release the honey. Then they put the honey into the extractor, and then the honey is slung. What we do is we just cut the whole comb out, crush it, and that's the way we harvest our honey, because we have family and friends that really like the honeycomb. That's beautiful.
There's a great website called Linda's Bees, where I first saw this done. Linda's Bees, if you'll go to that, she's got a video on there of crushed comb honey. Now we'll let this will drain for a couple of days, and it just keeps coming. So that's it. We've extracted our honey. We've got some comb in the jars. It's not going to spoil. You don't have to keep it refrigerated. We run it in the jars and give most of it away to friends and family.
Dripping Springs honey.
Makes a great Christmas present.